What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing 3 looks with the Melt Cosmetics Impulsive palette. As soon as I saw this palette, I knew I wanted to get my hands on it, and I literally overnighted it from Sephora to do 3 looks with it when it released. I was super pumped for this because the last time I used a Melt palette, I was really blown away by how good their formulations were. Also, I was really excited to take a break from like super brights and neons to use a different type of color, because as much as I am having a neon moment in my life right now, sometimes you just need a breather to like cleanse your palette as far as like your creative process goes. So I was really excited to jump into this today. As we do with all of my 3 looks videos and like any longer videos, I will timestamp each of the looks in the description below, as well as the end portion where I talk about my thoughts on the palette. I'll also link everything that I use on my face in the description in case you're curious what the hell I'm talking about or where I got it. For those of you who are waiting for the next installation of Get Ready With Me, which is my book club series on this channel, if you're new here and you don't know about that, I'll leave information about that in the description down below. I will be posting my next Get Ready With Me second half of Court of Thorns and Roses on Monday the 17th, so that will be my next video coming up. I'm very excited to sit down and film it. You guys gave me some feedback on it. Mostly you liked the format, so I'm going to keep it for the most part the same, but a couple of things I'm going to be adding is I will put what makeup I'm using on the screen as I use it, and also I'm going to try to add in more of my own commentary rather than just like synopsis stuff and balance that a little better. So that was like the general feedback I got from you guys, but overall the format's staying the same because you guys seem to really like it, so I'm pumped. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking a second to do that, because it helps me out and I appreciate it as much as I appreciate this cold brew. And if you are new around here, maybe you've seen a couple of videos and you have not decided to subscribe just yet, I would like to take a moment to encourage you to do that, because if you don't, your feet smell, and that's science. But also, I think that you would have a good time and I would appreciate you sticking around for more videos, so that's also why. It's the feet. A lot of it's the feet. We have 3 whole ass looks to get through today, which is plenty. So let's just jump right in to the first look with the Melt Impulsive palette. For the first look, I have an idea in my mind about how I want to do this, but I also am not so certain that it's going to work the way that I think it's going to. So I'm doing this one first because if I do a terrible, terrible, terrible job, then I have more time to redo it and catch up with doing the rest of the video. So that is what we're gonna see. I'm gonna take a BH number 6 brush. I usually take my BH number 5 brush. I don't know where that one is right now. And this one is also great. And I lost it for a while, and I found it in one of the windowsills of my house the other day, and I don't know how it got there. So I'm gonna start by taking my BH number 6 and going into the shade 2012, which is this mustardy yellow. I'm gonna place that in the inner part of the crease, coming up toward the bridge of my nose, and I'm gonna blend that toward my bridge. Next, on a Morphe M433, I'm gonna go into the shade Game Changer, and I'm gonna use that through the rest of the crease. You know what, I'm gonna switch back to the same brush and just clean it off because that worked so nice. I can't believe this was lost in my windowsill for so long. Look how nice that blends that out. Damn, I'm an idiot. I'm gonna blend the edges of that a bit more with a clean brush. Wow, BH number 6. I'm sorry I let you live in my windowsill so long. You didn't deserve that. Next, I'm going to take my MAC 221 brush and I'm going to deepen this up a little bit in the crease area. So I'm going to go into the shade Profesh. I'm going to use that to deepen up underneath where we put the green. Well, not really under it, just over the lower portion of that. On a Sigma EO6 brush, I'm going to go into Rule Breaker and I'm going to deepen up underneath where we put the yellow with that. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Warehouse Party, which is sort of like, it looks mauve-y in the pan, but I swatched it on my hand earlier and it kind of reads almost like a shimmering nude shade, and it's very, very pretty. So I'm going to take that up on a Real Technique shading brush and I'm going to start putting that over my lid. I'm going to pick up my Sigma E36 again. I'm going to go back into Rule Breaker, which is the matte orange shade, and just blend that together right here. I'm going to go back into Profesh again and do the same thing on the outer edge. And I'm gonna bring a little bit of that down onto the corner of the eye as well. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Poppin' Bottles, and I'm gonna use my finger because apparently I love using my fingers lately. I don't know why I have started doing this more. I just did it once and I was like, hey, what a great idea that was. And I haven't looked back since. So I'm gonna use my pinky to just place that in the center of the lid and just tap over the edge of that with the brush that I used earlier to blend it into the surrounding shade a little bit. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Dream Big. And again, I'm using my Sigma EO6 and I'm just gonna throw that through the majority of the crease area just to kind of give a blend to both of those shades and incorporate them more into the lid color because I just feel like it looks cool. I like the combination. It's a little bit interesting and different, but I don't feel like it's not gelling enough for me. It's not coming together as a happy little family quite enough just yet. Okay, it's all starting to make more sense. This is good. Next, I'm going to go into Boss Lady and continue doing that exactly as I was with the other shade, just deepening it a little bit further, especially where the green ends and the crease color begins. All right. Now we're in business. I just concealed underneath my eye so we can start working on the lower lash line. So far, this is giving me like fall, caramel apple, delicious vibes that just don't match with my nails at all. By the way, I hate my nails right now. Every time I try coffin shape, I'm like, these just look like the shitty square acrylics that I used to get in like 10th grade. I don't know if it's just me. Please let me know if you feel the same way. I was really drawn into the color of these. I don't just wish they were pointy. I just want my claws back. I just want to scratch people. I don't scratch people, but you know what I mean. Anywho, I'm gonna continue the greens on the lower lash line because that's more fun. That's so fun. The greens are so fun. So I'm gonna go back into Game Changer again, this time on a pencil brush, and I'm gonna start dragging that underneath my lower lash line. Some pink shadow stained the bejesus out of my brushes and it just won't go away. Next, I'm going to take my Sigma E36 and I'm going to go back into Profesh again. I'm going to drag that a little bit closer to the lash line and scoop it around up into the top. A little loopy-doopy over there. And again, I'm going to go back into Boss Lady. I'm just going to use that right on the outer corner and just to connect that into the top because we had that extra added layer of darkness on there. So I just want to make sure it connects. For the inner corner, I'm gonna go back into Poppin' Bottles on a pencil brush. I'm gonna try it dry and see if I think we need to wet it. Ooh, we do not need to wet it. She is poppin' indeed. This is definitely a champagne color, hence the name, but there is a little bit of like a duochrome green shift to it. It kind of makes it make so much more sense with the rest of the look. Chef kiss. I don't know why I wasn't filming this, but I went through my waterline with the Urban Decay pencil in Stash. It seems to be like the perfect green to complement this look. Right now, looking in the monitor, the way this shape is feels very unbalanced because it feels like panda eyes, almost like it goes like shoop, like that. But I think that'll be a lot more balanced once I add lashes. So I'm gonna go throw on some mascara, throw on some lashes, and we'll be right back. Okay, my lashes are drying and I haven't finished my skin yet. But I wanted to pop back on for a second because I think that what could be really nice on this look is adding a little bit of glitter to the center of the lid. So I'm going to pick up the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Gel in the color Dreamland. And I'm picking up a very small amount of this on a flat brush. So these are very like heavy, chunky glitters. And I'm just going to place that right in the center. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna go squeeze my lashes into place and finish my skin, and then we'll carry on to a lip. Okay, so these are House of Lashes Midnight Luxe. I finished my skin using the MAC Electric Wonder Face Palette. I used this center shade here, which is called Some Kind of Wonderful, for my highlight. I've reviewed this whole collection recently. If you haven't seen that and you want to see it, go leave it right here up on the screen so you can do that. Spoiler alert, this palette is actually becoming a fave. It's a delight. I added some freckles with my Urban Decay Brow Blade. I used Dark Drapes and Brunette Betty today, just kind of stippled both of them on there. And my blush is the GRLPWDR blush from THEBALM. This is a little palette and I can't ever get it open fast, but I use the shade Houston all the time. Kind of loving this eye look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm feeling myself. I feel cute as shit. Kind of wish I had more of a life, so I had somewhere to go wearing this. But alas, I don't, so let's add a lip and just call it a day. I feel like this will look so good with just a matte red lip. So that's what I'm gonna go for. We're using Fenty Stunna Lip Paint in Uncensored as usual. Pretty much anytime you see me wearing a red matte lip, it's probably gonna be this because I love it so much. And this is the first look. Okay, time for look number 2. I couldn't take it. I changed my nails between looks. I felt like I was looking at somebody else's fingers. They were just so on me. Slime green claws, much more me. We're back on track. The second look, I want to do a look inspired by, or possibly even just a straight up recreation of this look by Linda Hallberg. First of all, I have been in love with Linda's makeup and her face in general for probably the longest of anybody I followed on the internet, because I found her on Pinterest. She was like the Pinterest queen like so many years ago, and she's just continued to blow my mind ever since. As always, when I either recreate somebody's makeup look or use their look for inspiration, I'll list their Instagram with a direct link to the post that I was inspired by in the description down below. So that will be down there. So to start this look, I'm gonna go into the shade Game Changer on BH number 6. I know this is the same way we started the last look, but it's gonna be different. And we're gonna use a different crease color for the next look, so it's fine. Unlike yesterday's look, I'm gonna put this in the entire crease, and I'm also not going to bring it as close up into the nose bridge line as I did yesterday. Next, on a Sigma E36, we're gonna go into Profesh, deepen the crease with that again. There are 2 deep blue shimmer shades in here, and I wanna use both of them. I'm gonna start by using Tipsy, picking a bunch of that up on a MAC 217 brush. Why did my chair just make that noise? Picking that up on a MAC 217 brush, wetting that with a little bit of setting spray because I want that to be nice and intense, and I'm gonna use that for the outer half of the lid. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, this shade is stunning. It looks like the ocean. I'm like Billie Eilish. Next, I'm gonna go into Cross Faded. I'm gonna pick up the same brush. I'm gonna wet it as well. I'm gonna use that on the inner portion of the lid. This color is, I would still call it a blue, but it's leaning toward a purple. I'm gonna go ahead and deepen up the whole crease with the color Boss Lady on the same Sigma E36 brush. Boss Lady is like that one unsung hero shade in a palette where you wouldn't think that you could use it to blend just about anything and make it deeper, but you kind of can. I want to add a little bit of brightness to the center of this, so I'm gonna go into the shade Shots, which is definitely more on the lavender side, but I think it's gonna layer really pretty over these 2 blue shades. I'm picking that up on a pencil brush. I'm not gonna wet it because I don't want it to be too overly intense, so I'm gonna place that right in the center. And on an even smaller portion of the center, I'm gonna go into No Regrets on the same pencil brush. This time I'm gonna wet it a little bit, keeping that really, really tight to the center of the lid. I concealed the underneath portion of my eyes, and I'm gonna go through the waterline with a purple pencil because I wanna do purple on the underneath like Linda did because it looks so pretty. So I'm gonna use the Urban Decay 24/7 pencil in the color Delinquent. And on a clean pencil brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Morning After. And I'm gonna drag that underneath my whole lower lash line. This is dry, by the way, and it's that rich. These shadows are like a maze. I pick up my Sigma E36 again and go back into Boss Lady. I'm gonna use that just along the outer edge of the lower lash line to blend that into the top. And on my LUXE 141 mini brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Makeup Junkie on the top here. It's more of like a mauve shade, but continuing that more purpley undertone we had going on. I'm gonna wet that. I'm gonna pop it right in the center part of the lower lash line. And on the same brush, I'm gonna go into Pop and Bottles, which is one we use in the first look, and I'm gonna go over right in the center of that, just to brighten it a little bit further and make it a little bit more interesting. Add in that little bit of a green duochrome there. It'll tie in the crease color a little bit. I finished my skin and my lashes with the exact same things I used in look 1, so I'm not gonna list them off again, but as always, they will be listed in the description down below if you are curious the exacts of it. So I'm loving this look, but I feel like it needs a little bit more brightness in the center, and there isn't necessarily a super bright shade in this look, so I'm gonna reach for an eye topper. This is the Stila Little White Lies Shadow in the color Lilac Legend. I've actually done a video on this before, and I loved it. Normally I would do this before I put lashes on, but I thought of it afterwards, so here we are, such is life. So I'm gonna put this right in the center, right from the wand. Just grab a clean brush, any old brush will do, and just tap the edge of that just to blend it a bit. I want to add a lip to this look that kind of gives that like ethereal, sort of shimmering, rich butterfly jewel tone quality to the look, like kind of in the same way as we have on the eyes, but different. So I'm going to try doing a nude lip with the NABLA pencil in Body Language. Actually, this isn't really a nude, it's a neutral. And I'm gonna line my lips with that and then just kind of blend it toward the center. And then I'm going to fill the center in with Nature Freak lip gloss from MAC. This is from the Electric Wonder collection, which I recently reviewed. And this is the second look, and I'm really excited that it kind of matches my nails. This feels so much better. For look number 3, what I want to do is go into the more properly red tones in this palette, because I feel like that's the one thing we haven't done yet. And then we'll have a full, complete smorgasbord of what this palette is like if we do a look with that one. So that's the plan. I'm gonna pick up my BH number 6 again, and I'm gonna go into the shade Dream Big. This is a little bit of a deep shade just to dive right into, but honestly, these blend so nice, I'm not really that worried about it. I'm gonna start by pushing that into the upper crease area and then using the blendiness of this brush to just blend it out a little bit. And at the end of the eye, I'm just gonna use what's left on the brush just to flick that out. And on a BH number 7 brush, I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of that shade and just concentrate that through the crease. And I'm gonna blend the edges of all of that with a clean brush just so we're not spreading the color any further. On the BH number 7 brush that I just used, I'm gonna go into the shade Boss Lady. And I'm gonna start by putting that down on the outer corner of the eye, and then I'm gonna bring it into the crease and bring it all together with that shape that we just put down. How the hell did I just miss a whole spot? There we go. Switching to a smaller brush, this is a Sigma EO6. I'm gonna go into the same shade and just use that to be a little bit more precise with it. I'm gonna take my Kat Von D Lock It Concealer and the NABLA Cut Crease brush, and I'm gonna cut a half crease. Or a half cut crease. I'm gonna cut a half cut crease. You get the point. I don't know how to word that. How would you word that? Cut a half crease? I give up. I'm gonna use the shape of that brush just to make a little full cut crease right here in the inner portion, and then drag the rest of what's on the brush down onto the lid. At the end, I'm just gonna tap over the edge of that concealer with my finger just to make it a softer line. I'm gonna pick up my MAC 242S brush and go into the shade Go Getter, and I'm gonna wet that a little bit. I want it to be intense. That's before I wet it. I feel like it's gonna be intense either way. I'm still going for it though. And I'm just gonna pack that where I put down that concealer. On my NABLA Dab and Smudge brush, this is just like a little flat brush that has some fluff to it. I'm gonna go into the shade Rule Breaker, and I'm just gonna tap that over the edge of that red to start to blend it into the darker shades on the edge. And I'm gonna also go into Dream Big and start to tap that on there too. It's a little further away from it, kind of create a gradient. Okay, no pun intended, but this red shade is fire. And I just want to brighten one little portion of the red area. Not that that red looks so good on its own, I almost don't want to, but I feel like when you brighten one spot, on a look like this. It gives it a lot more dimension and makes it look like really smooth and perfect. So I'm gonna go into Poppin' Bottles. I'm just gonna put that right in the center of the red area where it might reflect more light. But I'm gonna go into the red again and just tap it around there just to make sure the red keeps the moment that it so deserves. Okay, I concealed and now I'm ready to go through my waterline. I'm gonna use the Urban Decay 24/7 pencil in the color Alkaline. I'm back on my Nightman shit again, apparently. I'm gonna pick up a pencil brush and go directly into Boss Lady and start dragging that under the lower lash line. I wonder how many times I've said that. And on that clean-ish, because we've already used it, but it has no extra product on it, blending brush, I'm gonna blend the edge of that. On a LUXE 141 mini, I'm gonna go into Go Getter again. This time I'm gonna keep it dry, and then I'm gonna just sweep it under the lower lash line a little bit and blend it back toward that darker shade. I'm gonna go finish off this eye and add some lashes, and then we will add a lip to this situation. I finished my face with the exact same things again and used the exact same lashes. I really am leaning into this whole creature of habit thing in this video. I wanted to do something that was like not matchy with this look, but I didn't want to go with a nude. I feel like it's really difficult to pair red eye looks with things, and a lot of times personally I gravitate toward a nude because it's just the easiest way to do it. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different just to give other options about how you guys can pair red eye looks if you're thinking about that. I'm gonna pick up one of the MAC Powder Kiss lipsticks in the color A Little Tamed. This color is kind of like a mauvey pink reddish color, and I think it'll go nicely with this eye. See how they kind of look similar? The reason I'm choosing this formula is because this is supposed to be like the blotted lip look. So I'm gonna apply it and then I'll blend the edges of it out a little bit to make it a little bit softer. And I think the combination of it being a little bit more diffused and also matching will make it work very nicely. If not, we can always switch to something else, but that's what I'm trying first. Also, I love this lipstick formula, and it's one of those things where I use these all the time in real life, and for some reason I never wind up using them on my channel, and I don't know why that happens with certain products, but it does. It's a weird phenomenon. But today I went to the other side of the room, or maybe that's why. It's because I keep them on the other side of the room. Duh. Okay, Nicole. Anyway, let's apply this lip. And this is the third look. Okay, so with 3 looks down, I have really had time to formulate my thoughts on this palette. Overall, this palette, Street Fire. It's beautiful. It performs absolutely beautifully, and the color layout is even more interesting when you actually begin to apply it than it appears to be in the pans. Personally, for me, as soon as I saw this, I thought it was really interesting and I was excited to play with it, but I thought, hey, you know, I like that color layout, but it reminds me of other things I have. Things like the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette, the Kat Von D Fetish palette. Those palettes do have a lot of similar tones in them, but once I started like really getting in there, this has like more duochromes and things like that. Makes it a little bit different. The only minor complaint that I have is the packaging is a little on the bulky side, but all things considered, this is 18 shades inside a fairly small palette, so it's not really a big complaint. As far as fallout is concerned, I saw a little bit of it, but considering how deep these shades are and how pigmented they are, very little. Melt at this moment has some of the best eyeshadows on the market. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. They are absolute fire. I think this palette says fall and winter to me more than like a summer release, but obviously I can just hold on to it and use it in the fall when I want to, as I see fit. I feel like this side especially, oh my God, Autumn Goddess Dreams. Even though I feel that way, I do feel like I got some summer appropriate looks out of it in this video. So you can definitely go either way. I just feel like this looks like candy corn and caramel apples and hot cider and leaves to me. They're just, Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking a second, because it helps me out in a big, fat, tremendous way that I appreciate so much. And also, if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, because that way you don't miss upcoming videos, and I would just love to have you around to hang out and talk about makeup and also books nowadays. If you feel like keeping up with me between videos, if you don't want to miss any updates, if you want to see my lip art and other more creative looks and stuff like that, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'm at Miss Quinface over there. I will leave all the information for that down below as well. I believe that's all for today. I will be back on Monday with the next installation of Get Ready With Me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you very much, and I will see you in the next one.